Hello everyone and welcome to August Live. I'm Lewis Miller.
And I'm Brandy McIver.
Today we are interviewing SGA Attorney General candidates Quiana Harris and Monet Zahir. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, so we want to go ahead and get started by just getting a little bit, knowing a little bit of information about yourself. Who is Mona and who is Quiana?
My name is Quiana Harris. I am a rising senior junior political science major from Rich Square, North Carolina, and I'm very, very excited to be running for Winston-Salem State University's next Attorney General.
My name is Mona Zahir. I'm a rising junior political science major, sociology minor, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. And just a little bit about myself. I served and interned with Courtney Graham, who is our current Attorney General, for the past 2 years. I volunteered with her father's campaign when he ran for Congress last year. I have done a lot of work in terms of like the zero tolerance policy, and I have a couple of organizations on campus that I'm involved in, including the Sophomore Class Council, and I'm president of Queen.
Okay, nice. So would you like to go ahead and tell us what exactly are the responsibilities of Attorney General? Quiana, would you like to start?
Okay, the Attorney General, basically, it is the lead of the Student Conduct Council. The Attorney General assists the Conduct Council as well as Mrs. Deanna Carrington with deciding exactly what happens to our cases on campus. So whether that's a case as small as throwing a big party in your room to something as confidential as maybe an accused sexual assault case, the Conduct Council gets those cases from our campus police, and in cohesion with the Conduct Council, we decide as an Attorney General, member of the council, we decide exactly what the sanction will be for that student. So whether that's going home or maybe even just participating in some community service here on campus. Some students even may need to participate in some substance abuse counseling. Whatever the case might be, the Attorney General works directly with Ms. Carrington to figure out how we're going to assist our students here on campus when they come in contact with breaking the code.
Okay. Mona, would you agree with that? Would you like?
Yes, I would definitely agree with how she described the Attorney General. And also in the Winston-Salem State University's Constitution for SGA, the Attorney General has a sort of ambiguous position aside from the fact of what Quiana had just described the Attorney General does. So the Attorney General position is also pretty flexible when it comes to doing policies and doing programs in conjunction with the rest of the SGA. So it can reach the span outside of that role. So it's really up to the candidate and the person in that position on how they want to take that direction.
Cool. Could you talk about your platform?
Yes. So my platform is of service, which is an acronym. So the S stands for settling judicial hearings, of course. E, efficiency in the office. R, realigning student advocacy. V, venturing to progress. I, impartial to sanctions. C, clean with integrity, and E, which is my favorite, earning your trust. So in a gist, the idea of service, which we all know that's really big on our at our university and to learn, depart, to serve. My job is to serve you, and I am of service to you and to the student body, which is why that is my platform. So I'm very mindful of the fact that I can't do my job effectively if I'm not of service to the student body. So I don't only want to engage with the students when they are getting into trouble or they do happen to violate the code.
Absolutely.
And my platform, I don't know if I really want to call it a platform, but my mission as the Attorney General is to ensure that every student here at Winston-Salem State University has a fair chance to complete their education here. Being on the Conduct Council, like Mona said before, I've seen a lot of cases where a lot of students were, maybe sent home, maybe because they just weren't knowledgeable of the Student Code of Conduct or the Zero Tolerance Policy. So as Attorney General, it will be my first priority to ensure that all students here on campus are familiar with the Student Code of Conduct, as well as have a fair and very impartial student conduct hearing. So when I do, am over those cases and I see the things that go on campus, I'll make sure to keep in mind that I myself am a student as well, that I too know that people make mistakes, but I also believe in compromising as well as following the code.
Okay, so Mona, we know that you will alter the zero tolerance policy by adding more rehabilitation options.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yes. So I've been doing a lot of research when it comes to the zero tolerance policy as an undergrad research assistant. That's actually my job here on campus. And working closely with Dr. Dawn Henderson, who's in the psychology department, we've done a lot of research on how it really creates this pathway of the school to prison pipeline, which I'm sure we are, most of us are pretty familiar with attending an HBCU and knowing that it disproportionately affects the African American community. And with that being said, I definitely believe that in terms of providing these sanctions, we want to have consequences, of course, for the students to learn their lesson because, you know, they violated the code, but also at the same time, you want to grow from your lessons. We all make mistakes, you know, sometimes it's detrimental and sometimes it really is just a simple mistake. And I believe that there are non-punitive methods and alternatives to handling these mistakes. So if someone is found and caught for underage drinking, instead of sending them home immediately for the fact that they were caught with underage drinking, if this is a consistent issue, why not send them over to the Health and Wellness Center? And why not put them in alcohol EDU and let them understand the benefits of being knowledgeable about this and, you know, making them a better student overall, because that's really what I believe a university is supposed to do. We're meant here to grow, to matriculate, and we're meant to be at our best so that when we do graduate, we can depart to serve. And I think that is very important that our mistakes don't define who we are, so therefore we need to find alternatives to punishments to counter the decisions that the student chooses to.
Quiana, where do you stand on that policy?
The zero tolerance policy, I definitely am not in support of. I definitely don't feel that when a student, and we're all young adults here learning and growing, as Mona has said, as students, the first, mistake that we make, and it might just happen to be coming in contact with marijuana or alcohol or something like that, that we shouldn't just go ahead and count these students out. From personal experience working on a conduct council, when students are, in violation of zero tolerance and they're sent home, I don't know the exact percentile, but a lot of those students don't return back even when they have the opportunity, whether that's because of financial aid or some things at home. So I definitely think that having another option besides zero tolerance and just sending someone home, we definitely need to work on. So I definitely agree with Mona with going in conjunction with the Wellness Center, as well as, I would say, opening opportunities on campus. A lot of the students I've come in contact with who've been on a conduct council are not active on campus. They're not involved in any organizations. They probably have the same that small group of friends that they've had since freshman year. And I think that in totality is just detrimental. I think that also with the conduct council, we can work on maybe just having, I don't know if we should require it maybe, but having students engage in campus activities. Therefore, you won't have time to sit around in your room and get drunk or smoke marijuana all the time. So I definitely think that having alternatives to sending someone home is the best way to kind of rehabilitate our students on campus who have problems with zero tolerance types of issues.
Okay. So obviously only one of you can occupy this position, but if you are not elected for your desired Attorney General position, how will you still be able to assist the university?
Well, first off, I would definitely, if Mona wins, I'll definitely still be involved in the Student Conduct Council, only because I feel that as a student, because I have the opportunity to do so, it's my, almost like a duty to have my voice in what happens to my peers. So as long as the Student Conduct Council is a position that is open, I'll always be a member of it. Outside of that, I'm definitely going to continue to excel in my classroom, as well as working in the honors program. I'll continue to do. And as well as just assisting will be senior class council, I will still work with them to ensure that not only I'm graduating on time and am successful, but as well as the people who I came in with as freshmen. I want to continue to build those relationships and just to keep in contact with my peers that I've known since day one. So in order to serve my university, I will be doing all those things, as well as working to prepare myself for law school, which I will be attending in fall of 2016.
Well, if I don't get elected to the position, I will definitely, like Quiana said, still be on Student Conduct Council as well. But outside the realms of just the in relations to the Attorney General. I will still be president of my organization, Queen. I will still be active on campus as I've already been and involving myself in various forms. One thing that's also really passionate to me is the Political Action Committee, which is an auxiliary organization under SGA. And this past year, we were able to launch the first and hopefully not the last, our North Carolina HBCU Summit, and it actually resembled the model of the HBCU Summit that I had the privilege of attending at Howard University early on in September. And with that, we learned a lot more about policies, and we've seen things that have been occurring with South Carolina State, Elizabeth City State, this risk of our HBCUs being shut down, and that was really the vision and the goal behind our current president, who came up with the idea to start the summit within North Carolina schools and connect those schools together. And that's something I will continue to work with. And outside the realms of that, I do a lot of work in terms of social justice, and that's something that's never going to change. And with that, of course, it means handling the issues here on campus. So with the African American women, with African American males, and just continue to advocate and be really active for the students and make my voice be heard too when I see issues or concerns on the campus.
Well, just in my opinion, I think that both of you girls are very wonderful. You're both very well spoken, and a lot of your ideas actually, correspond with each other. So I think that the student body would greatly benefit from having either one of you in the position, and I hope that you will still be able to work together, because there is power in numbers, and we want it to be very, known that we need an attorney general, a great attorney general, and we need to make sure that our student body is informed of both of the issues that you all outlined. So I wish the best of luck to both of you, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Bye.